Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a video today that I think is super important about what's kind of going on in not only my life, but just like everyone's lives that I know. And also just overall, you can feel it in you can feel it in the air. You can feel it in the energy of what's going on. Obviously, there's an election that's coming up that is like everything always gets tense around these certain times, but also there's definitely some sort of like energetic shift that's happening, and it's been happening for quite some time. And I wanted to talk about just my understanding about how to move through and work through when things seem so chaotic in your life. All of us go through chaos. All of us have periods where it just seems like things are crazy. And I think that something that I've learned just through my like daily practices have really been able to help me figure out how to adjust to the chaos of the world and the chaos of my life that sometimes like we all as humans experience. So I wanted to talk about that today because my last video that I posted, um, I've been in my own like chaos storm for the past couple of weeks. And so I wanted to, as I like show up authentically on here and I talk about like, hey, this is what I'm going through. These are some of the questions in my mind. I also wanted to make a follow-up video about what is it that I'm doing to help like nurture myself through the chaotic storms that sometimes I find myself in and that I know everyone else finds themselves in as well. So something that I talk about all the time is just checking back in with yourself. And a lot of times, like, we don't know exactly what that means. Like, there's a lot of spiritual teachers or gurus that are out there that'll be like, oh, check in with yourself, ground yourself. Like, people will say these words, but if you don't really understand and know what that means, it's hard to do that. And so, for me, something I talk about all the time is meditation. Meditation for somebody who has a lot of anxiety or depression can seem extremely like an overwhelming task, but I promise you, starting small, not having like expectations about how you do when you meditate is something that's super, super important when you're trying to find stillness within the chaos. Another thing that I do often is I do a lot of journaling. I talk about this all the time. I journal pretty much every day, sometimes several times a day. And I feel like a lot of people, when I tell them about journaling, they get really over analyzing about, well, what do I need to journal about? Like, what is it? What do I need to be talking about? How long should I journal for? Like, people are just really over analyzing. They're over complicating. They're creating chaos within something that's supposed to just help them check back in with themselves. And so that's one thing that I do along with meditation is journal. I literally just free write anything that comes to my mind. I never look at journal prompts unless I'm working on something specifically, unless I'm trying to like tap into my inner child or if I'm trying to do shadow work. Like, I never do journal prompts unless I literally am working on something specific. So just free writing as much as you want, as little as you want, and then just stopping whenever you want to stop. Or if I find like I'm super overwhelmed by some sort of a feeling, I'll just pull out a journal and I'll start writing. So that's the second thing that I do often whenever I am like finding myself in a lot of chaos. The third thing that I do is I try to get outside. I spend time in nature. I try to like put my feet on the ground, like actually put my bare feet on the grass, on the soil. This is technically grounding if you're familiar with this, but those of you guys that are not familiar with grounding, the benefits of like being out in like the sunlight or getting fresh air in your lungs, there are scientific reasons why this feels good to our body, why we often feel so relaxed at a beach. It's really, really important for us to incorporate that into our everyday lives, regardless if you live somewhere where it's cold or where it is maybe not sunny, maybe it's rainy all the time. Like, it's still really important to put our feet on the bare ground, to put sun on our skin, to have fresh air in our lungs. Like, this might sound super cliche, but this, I promise you, if you can incorporate this into your day, even for just a 10-minute walk outside around your neighborhood. Like, this is super, super important with helping finding some sort of stillness within the chaos. So these are three practices that I incorporate in my life. I have been personally experiencing a lot of chaos in my life over the past couple of months. And so these are things that I have like incorporated in that have made me feel a lot more grounded. Something else that like kind of in a more advanced state and a more advanced like step that you get to whenever you have these practices in your life is that you don't even always have to go out and do those specific things once you're really kind of deep in the awareness of what's going on. But for me, even just remaining aware that like right now, what I'm experiencing, I'm just kind of in chaos right now, and understanding that the stillness within the chaos is what's most important. Reminding myself of those concepts, those thoughts is something that I have to do on a regular basis. When I start to get overwhelmed, when I start feeling anxiety, or when I start feeling depressed, I try to ground myself and remind myself of times when I did feel really grounded. I did feel very joyful and happy, and remind myself that what I'm experiencing right now is literally just a chapter, and that the way to move through the chaos chapter is to find the stillness somewhere within the chaos. And so these are things that I do on a regular basis whenever I'm feeling like I'm just genuinely going through it. I don't really know which way to go, which way to turn. I don't allow myself, I try not to allow myself to get really worked up and try to find all of the answers. I just try to understand that the answers are going to find their way to me regardless in what time frame that is. I think a lot of us are like, especially me, are people that try to figure out all of the answers, and we try to do research about things and try to find like the answers of why is this happening, or what can I do to stop this from happening. And the truth is that when we really just put the trust in like the fact that everything is kind of laying out exactly how it's supposed to, then it's really easy to understand that the answers are going to come, and that there's not any need to force more chaos within yourself in order to try to pressure yourself to find answers and find solutions. Sometimes what we're being asked to do whenever there is chaos going on in our life is just to literally remain still and just be in observance of what's going on, and to just be aware of how we are handling that chaos, and how we are either contributing or not contributing to the chaos that's happening in our lives or just around us. So today I wanted to make this video about how I personally like try to find stillness within the chaos in my own life, because there's a lot of chaos, a lot of chaotic energy that's happening right now. Things seem very, very heavy, and it's not just in my life. I know that it's like in everyone's lives. So as we kind of move through this season of chaos, I just want to invite everybody to really try to find the stillness within your own life through doing daily practices, from being aware of like your own personal energy, and being aware of like your own habits and what you're doing to either contribute or not contribute to the chaos that's happening in your life. All we essentially can really control is how we are handling our own energy, essentially, regardless what's going on in life. Like, we are really truly only in control of our own energy. And so I just wanted to make this video to invite you guys to just be a little bit more aware about what stillness you're bringing to yourself, and just dive into those practices that help you feel still within the chaos, because chaos is going to be there. It's going to come in waves, and it's just our duty. It's our invitation to learn how to like ride the waves of like the storm that we're in. That's literally it. Once you can figure out how to find the stillness within the chaos, I'm a true believer that you're literally able to get through, accomplish pretty much anything. So if you found this video like helpful, if this resonated with you, please like or share this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about my daily practices and just my things that have helped me like get through my own chaos. A lot of us are struggling with like just chaos, mental health issues, like physical issues. A lot of us have a lot of things going on. And so I'm going to be sharing a lot more about my personal journey on this channel. So please subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next video.